First thing we need to do is put our heading, name, number, date, first and last in cursive. Remember to write the date you are working on these notes, not necessarily the date I am writing. Our subject is math. Alright, so we're going to use this diagram right here to help us answer these questions. Which line is parallel to line GH? So first I have to remember, so here my work is just remembering what parallel means. Parallel means they will never intersect. Or another way, another definition, is that they're always going to be the same distance apart. So let's find GH. GH is right here. Well, I know it intersects KJ and ML, so those definitely are not parallel. GH compared to FE is not the same distance the whole way. They will intersect eventually. Same with CD. But here's AB. They're the same distance the whole way. If I extend each one of them out, they will never intersect. So the parallel line to GH would be AB. Line AB. Remember, capital letters, and we put the line on top as part of the name. Next, name two. We need two names. Lines which are perpendicular to JK. So remember, perpendicular means they form right angles. So JK. So here's JK. AB intersects, and it does form right angles. It's got those perfect square corners there. DC intersects, but it gives me two obtuse angles and two acute angles, no right angles. I can't just put that square anywhere. It only goes with right angles. FH intersects, but again I have two obtuse, two acute. GH intersects, and there's my other right angles. So my two lines which are perpendicular would be AB, line AB, and line GH. So line AB is perpendicular, line GH is perpendicular. Okay. How many lines are parallel to line EF? Parallel means they are always the same distance apart. Or another way of thinking of it is they will never intersect. So EF right here, well, it looks like DC is exactly the same distance apart the whole way, and if I extend them out either direction, they will not intersect. EF does intersect LM and JK, so those are not parallel to it. Those are intersecting. It is not the same distance apart from GH. And if I continue them out, I can see where they'll intersect in the future. EF is not the same distance apart the whole way from A, B, and if I extend them out, I can see where they would intersect. So it looks like there's only one line to which it is parallel. So one line is parallel to EF. And that is CD. Line CD is parallel to line EF. Which line is parallel to JK? Parallel lines will never cross. I'm just trying to get down as many different ways of thinking about these parallel lines as possible, so that when you use these notes, they remind you, and we have different ways of saying the same thing there. JK, well, JK intersects AB, so they're not parallel. It intersects DC, they're not parallel. FE, they're not parallel. GH. So it intersects these four lines. It does not intersect LM at this time. They're the same distance apart. If I continue them out forever, they will never cross or intersect. So it looks like LM is a line to which it is parallel. So line LM. Okay, next question. Are line CD and line JK perpendicular to one another? Explain. Okay, well, first let's think perpendicular lines form right angles. So we're looking at CD and JK. So here's JK. Oops, sorry. Here's JK. Here's CD. I have two obtuse and two acute. I have no right angles. So they do intersect, but they are not perpendicular. They are intersecting, but not perpendicular. Now the explain part, that's this. Because, when we have that because, is our explaining. They do not form right angles. Next one are CD and GH intersecting lines. Explain. So CD, CD and GH. Well, right now they're not intersecting, but if I extend them out, they will, because lines go on forever. And since these lines go on forever, I can extend them, and at some point they will intersect. Also, they are not parallel. They're not the same distance apart, so they would be considered intersecting. So we need to get down that intersecting means they cross or will cross if extended, if those lines are drawn out, they will eventually cross. Yes, they are intersecting. Now I'll explain. Because, so we have our claim and now our reasoning. I'm sorry, our evidence. Because if they are extended, they will cross. Alright, so now we'll do some more with identifying and drawing parallel and perpendicular lines. Thank you for joining me.